What's going on, fellas? UFC 300 is finally here. This weekend, one of, if not the most anticipated UFC card of all time. Just from start to finish, the fights are absolute bangers. Headlining the card, we have Jamahal Hill versus Alex Pereira, followed by Weili and Yan Xiaonan. These fights are going to be absolute bangers. Every single fight that's on this card could be a main event per Dana White. Whether it's a fight night, whether it's an actual card, each one of these fights could be the very pinnacle of a card. Make sure you guys stay tuned to the very end because I have a plus 1,000 parlay that is guaranteed to hit. It will not lose. Put your rent mortgage on it. I don't care. It's hitting. Without further ado, let's get right into the video for a main full card event breakdown. All right, fellas, kicking off the card, we have Bo Nickal versus Brundage. I'm not going to say a whole lot on this fight because we all know what's going to happen. Bo Nickal is going to run through this guy, and I almost feel like Bo Nickal is getting the treatment Sean O'Malley did when he first came up because he's just fighting nobody. He's getting cupcake fights. I mean, what? I think Bo Nickal's like minus 2,000 on the money line. Let me check and see. Yeah, he's minus 2,500, and Brundage is only plus 1,000. Like, if you're going to have a guy that's minus 2,500, Brundage should be like plus 1,500, not plus 1,000. But I don't really understand that. But, I mean, just a quick analysis. Brundage is a wrestler. So, I mean, obviously, Bo Nickal is also a wrestler. But Bo Nickal is leaps and bounds above Brundage. So, I wouldn't even mess around with this fight. It's not even worth it to put in a parlay. Maybe if you bet, like, first-round knockout or first-round submission or maybe fight not to go the distance, I'm sure that's probably juiced up as well. But this fight's not even worth betting, in my opinion, just because the odds are so high. Bo Nickal is on a fast track to the top, and Brundage is just a piece of the puzzle for him. So expect Bo Nickal to run through this guy and to really kick off the card in an electric way. So official pick, obviously, Bo Nickal. That wasn't hard. All right, for our next fight, this is where it gets interesting, okay? We have Charles Oliveira versus Arman Tsarukyan. And this is a really interesting fight because Charles Oliveira has the most submissions in UFC history of like 20-something like that, I think it is. But Charles Oliveira is also good on the feet, and I feel like he's not getting the respect he deserves this fight. I mean, the guy's he's 34-9. He's plus 180 on the money line. And if you look at his last five, he's fought Beneil Dariush, who he beat in the first round. He lost to Islam Makhachev. He beat Gaethje, beat Poirier, beat Michael Chandler. Like, that is an insane resume. And for him to do that, I feel like he's not getting the respect he deserves against really not... I mean, Arman's been tested. He's fought his last five. He fought Dariush. And really, other than that, I mean, nothing really that good. Joaquin Silva, he lost to Matsis Gamrot, which is kind of surprising. Tsarukyan's game is to wrestle. He's good on the stand-up too, obviously, as we saw with Beneil, but his game is also to wrestle and to kind of, it's like the smothering tactic, like kind of like Khabib or Makhachev. So to see Arman do that against a guy who has the most submissions in UFC history, I just don't think it's going to fly, and I think Oliveira is just going to piece him apart on the feet as well. So I think Oliveira is a safe pick here. I really like him at plus money too. I think he's getting a lot of disrespect by Vegas at plus money. So lock in Oliveira plus money. I don't know if it'll go to a decision. He might. I think if Oliveira wins, his path to victory is going to be by decision. I don't think he's going to knock him out. Arman's a tough guy. But also too, I mean, Arman, he's huge, right? He's huge for 155. He could just sit on him the entire time, but you got to think Oliveira is not going to let him do that. So I don't know, man. This is tough. Arman has a lot of one-punch power. That's what you got to watch out for. He's got a lot of one-punch power, and he's just going to sit on him. If he does that, he wins. But I think if Oliveira can stay on the outside and keep his distance from Arman, I think he's fine on the feet. Look for Oliveira by decision here. All right, this fight right here, I am most excited for of the entire card. Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway. And this is actually one of my locks for the night, I feel like, this Saturday. I'm telling you right now, whenever Max goes up in weight, he gets picked apart. Max is really fast. He's a volume puncher, but he doesn't really punch hard. Gaethje can take a shot, and he throws like a damn freight train. I think even multiple fighters have said that have faced him. He's the hardest thrower of leg kicks, and his punches are the hardest as well. And if you look at the past fight between Holloway and Poirier, Poirier's power was just so overwhelming for Max Holloway. Max Holloway still threw a lot of punches that fight, but all Poirier had to do was throw that right hook, and Holloway was just so stunned. But he's just such a dog that he stayed in the fight. I think the same story is going to be said for Justin Gaethje. I think Justin Gaethje overwhelms him with leg kicks, overwhelms him with punches, jabs. He's going to have the full 9 yards. And I think Holloway's going to touch him, but he's not going to really hurt Gaethje at all. So I think Gaethje by either knockout or decision. I mean, what? The money line's only, let's see. Oh, geez. Yeah, it's moved a lot. When I first looked at it, I thought it was even odds, but Gaethje's now minus 245. Wow, that's actually crazy. Yeah, Gaethje money line is probably safe money, I feel like. So take Gaethje money line. You could even parlay that, like Gaethje money line with maybe a Charles Oliveira. That could be, I'm not sure what the odds on that would be, but that would be pretty tasty, I feel like. So official pick, I'm going Gaethje money line. Do I want to say knockout? Max Holloway is just such a dog. I don't think he gets knocked out. I think I'm gonna go 2 decision. Especially, I think this is 3 rounds as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go Gaethje by decision. All right, this women's fight, I'm actually not too thrilled for. I feel like Zhang Weili is just gonna walk through Yan Xiaonan. I've seen Zhang Weili fight in person at MSG, and let me tell you, that girl is an absolute fucking savage. She can wrestle, she can box, she's relentless with her pace, and I just don't know much about Yan Xiaonan, so maybe I'm talking out of my ass here, but I feel like Zhang Weili is just going to absolutely destroy her, absolutely run through her. It's not going to be close, and I even think Yan Xiaonan lost to Carla Esparza, who got destroyed by Zhang Weili. So I don't even think this is going to be a competition. I think Zhang Weili is just going to absolutely run through her. Official pick, Zhang Weili by knockout. All right, fellas, and to wrap up the card, this fight for right here is super interesting. The penultimate fight of the night, Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill. This fight is pretty good because Alex Pereira is kind of like I don't want to say like a two-dimensional fighter, but he doesn't telegraph a lot of his shots. That left hand's got a lot of power, but he kind of just sits there, and he's not unpredictable like a Yuri Prohaska or even a Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill is going to be kind of quirky, kind of all over the place. I mean, he knocked out Johnny Walker, for God's sakes, and Johnny Walker's all over the place too. So you have to look out for that for Jamal Hill, but I feel like this is going to be a striking battle on the feet. I don't think anyone's going to take it to the ground. If that happens, if I'm correct on that, Alex Pereira has a massive advantage on the feet just based off the pure experience, and Alex Pereira looks a lot better at 205 than he does at 185. So look for Alex Pereira to absolutely dominate the feet game or the stand-up game, and I think Alex Pereira by knockout actually is a pretty good bet here. So I even think you could parlay like Pereira by knockout, Gaethje by decision, and Charles Oliveira money line. I feel like that could be a decent payout for you. I feel like those are pretty safe bets. But Alex Pereira only minus 140. I feel like it's pretty disrespectful for him too, for all that he's done in the UFC in his time there. So I mean, he beat Sean Strickland, beat Izzy. He's fought Izzy like 5 times now, and he's fought Izzy 5 times now, and he's beat him the majority of the time. So I feel like Alex Pereira again is not getting much respect here on the money line for a guy that's Jamal Hill. And I mean, Jamal Hill's good, don't get me wrong. Like, I was shocked he beat oh man, who did he beat? Yeah, I was shocked he beat Glover Teixeira. I mean, Glover Teixeira's old, don't get me wrong, but Jamal Hill, that's kind of like I don't know. I don't really know much about him, so I can't really say much, but if this fight stays on the feet, as I suspect, Alex Pereira has a massive advantage with that left hand. So take Alex Pereira money line. I think he even wins by knockout, so take that. All right, fellas, this is what you all came for. This is the play we are going to run for UFC 300. Starting off, we have Aljamain Sterling. I know I didn't talk about him in the video, but I really like him in this spot against Calvin Kattar. Just the pure experience from Aljo is going to be too much for Kattar to handle. I know Kattar's a pretty good boxer, but I think Aljo just wrestles him. Put Aljo in there, minus 140 right now at the time of making this video. You parlay him. You parlay Justin Gaethje. You parlay Alex Pereira, and you parlay Charles Oliveira. That gets you to plus, I believe, like 1090, 1085, somewhere in there. At least it'll be plus 1,000. And guys, I think this has a really strong chance to hit. So if you want to tail at your own risk. Don't get mad at me when this bet hits and you didn't place it. So get it in right now before it's too late. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed this sort of content, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. What else? Let me know what you guys' predictions are for UFC 300 and enjoy it. I will be there. I'll see you guys there if you're going. Peace.